Hi kids, it's time for PACE art class. My name is Miss Roz, and today we'll be drawing some abstract art, like the artist Vasily Kandinsky. You might remember from a previous lesson that abstract art doesn't show realistic things. It's usually many different lines, shapes, and colors. Kandinsky was a very fascinating artist. He could hear colors, like a yellow mailbox whistling, a red sunset ringing bells. And when he listened to music, he could paint a beautiful painting with rattling curves of blue and stomping lines of red and thundering triangles of black and yellow. I will tell you all about Kandinsky when he was a young child and how he became an artist by reading parts of the book, The Noisy Paintbox. We will also be learning about shapes and addition in math. We will choose 3 of our favorite shapes and decide how many of each we need to make a sum of 10. Then we'll do a science experiment and we'll listen to sounds and see what color it makes us feel. So this lesson ties in science and math with art. With all this drawing and coloring, we will make a beautiful piece of abstract art. The supplies you will need today are just 2 sheets of paper. You can use white or any light colored construction paper and your crayons. You might want to use your pencil too for some math parts. First, let's look at the book, The Noisy Paintbox by Barb Rosenstock. This is Kandinsky when he lived in Russia as a boy, and his aunt gave him his very first paint set. Vasa, that was his first name, he started mixing colors. He mixed red with yellow, and then he mixed red with blue, and as the colors changed, Vasa heard a whisper, and then a hiss, louder, hiss, and then louder still, hiss. "What's that sound?" asked Vasa. "I don't hear a thing," said Auntie. Vasa listened as his brush stirred and swished, and the swirling colors trilled like an orchestra tuning up for a magical symphony. "Mama, Papa," called Vasa, "what a noisy paintbox." "Silly Vassy," said Papa. "Stop being foolish," said Mama. And Vasa painted the sounds of the colors. He spun a bright lemon circle onto the canvas. It clinked like the highest notes on the keyboard. He brushed a powerful navy rectangle that vibrated deeply like the lowest cello strings. He tossed up jagged swashes of blaring crimson and added cheerful dots of burbling green, clanging orange, and tinkling violet. Vasa painted and painted until the colors went quiet. After the years passed, Vasa finished school and studied to be a lawyer. He ignored his noisy paintbox and he lived the way people expected. But Vasa couldn't ignore the sounds of the colors singing to him in the streets of Moscow. The canary-colored mailbox whistling as he rode to work. The scarlet sunset haze was ringing above the ancient Kremlin walls. An ivory chorus of snowflakes scattered on the sable collar of his overcoat. His artist friends understood. They too were tired of painting pretty landscapes and pretty ladies. They thought art needed to change. "Art should make you feel," Vasa told them, "like music." "Exactly," said his friends, but none of them knew how to paint feelings until the day Vasa grew brave enough, and he invited the world to see the paintings roaring from his noisy paintbox. Hiss, rattle, bash, whistle, murmur, zip, clang. It took a long time for people to understand. Is it a house? Is it a flower? What's it supposed to be? It's my art, Vasa answered. How does it make you feel? Let's look at these 4 paintings by Kandinsky. Don't you love all the colors you see? Vasa was painting what he felt. I see some shapes, do you? We're going to add some shapes just like Kandinsky did in our artwork today. What about lines? Do you see some of those? These paintings have titles because artists give their work titles. The top one is called Painting with Green. The top one on the right is called White Zigzag. The blue colored one on the bottom is called Two Ovals. And the bottom right one is called Improvisation 7. I love these, don't you? Today we will be drawing some shapes. Take out your first piece of paper. Let's draw together. This is going to be a practice, so you can draw the shapes anywhere on your paper. Let's just practice. Let's start at the top. How about circle? I always start at the top when I'm making a circle, and then I meet it back up at the top. Try it. Say the name circle so you can remember it. Now when you want to make an oval, ovals are longer. I always start at the top for those. Ovals can go like this, or they can lay down like that. Say oval. Square. All sides are equal on a square. I draw the 2 side lines and then the 2 top lines. Squares. How about a rectangle? Rectangles have 2 long sides and 2 short sides. They could stand up vertically or they can lay down horizontally. Remember all these shapes when we're drawing our Kandinsky picture. How about triangles? Let me show you a couple different ways to make a triangle. Triangles can go like this. They have 3 sides, up the mountain, down the mountain, and across. Sometimes they have a right angle, which is like a letter L, and they look like that. Try some of those. How about this way? You could do an upside down L. Can you do a triangle like that? Those are some interesting ways. Great. How about half circle? Half circle is like straight line and curved line. There's also a crescent. We've drawn those in some of our past projects, kind of like 2 curved lines put together. There's heart and even star if you know how to make those. Practice some of those. How about this shape? I have a little room. I'll draw it at the top. See if any of you know the name of this shape. It has a short line on the top and a longer line on the bottom, and then 2 diagonal lines. Y'all know the name of this one? This one's called trapezoid. Can you say that? Good. Out of all these shapes, which ones are your 3 favorite? You can pick any of them. 3 different shapes. Circle, oval, triangle, square, rectangle, trapezoid even. Great. We'll be using those 3 favorite ones in our project. Turn your paper over. Let's write our names at the top in the corner. You can use your pencil for this. Now, we're thinking of math. We're going to be doing a math sentence that equals 10 total. Our sum is going to be 10. So at the very top, put your paper long ways, like a landscape we call this. And at the very top, can you write number 10 for me? Because that is the number of shapes that we're going to make. So writing number 10 at the top. When you finish, draw a straight horizontal line all the way across. Great. That'll help us to remember 10. Now we're going to divide our paper into 3 sections. So I want you to make a vertical line here in the middle and then go over a little bit over here. So now we'll have 3, these are called columns, 3 columns. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We're just drawing. I want you to think about those shapes that we just drew. What are your 3 favorite ones? I always love circle. I'm going to draw my 3 favorite ones at the top. I like triangles. And there's one I did not even think of. How about diamond? Do any of you like diamonds? Or maybe you want another one. When I draw a diamond, I draw the top of a triangle and then the bottom of a triangle. But you write the 3 at the top that you pick. They can be different than mine. Great. When you finish drawing your 3 shapes, draw another line all the way across. All right, so we have 3 shapes. Just watch me do mine and then you'll get an idea how to do yours. I'm trying to think of a number addition sentence that equals 10. I'm just going to think of a number lower than 10. Maybe 4. Maybe 4. So I'm going to draw 4 circles. They can be small. They can be bigger. They could even be inside one another. So that's number 3. And then here's circle number 4. So I have 4 circles. I'm going to write a small 4 right here so I can remember. Now how many triangles do I want to make? I'm thinking a number. We're trying to equal 10 and we have to have enough. So it needs to be kind of a low number. Maybe 3. All right, so I might draw triangles like this. Remember that other way I drew triangles like this? They could even be big and tall and thin like this. So 4 plus 3. Let's do that in our minds. 4. Let's count on 5, 6, 7. We have 7 shapes. We have 4 circles and 3 triangles. How many more do we need to put till we can make 10? So if I have 7, I'm going to count on 8, 9, 10. How many is that? 3. So now I need 3 diamonds. Your diamonds can be like this. Your diamonds can be like this. They can even be overlapping. Do you know what that word means? Look, they can even go like this on top of one another. Kind of like that. So I have 3. So in math, let's think about it. If we have 4 plus 3 plus 3 again, do we have 10? Count them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do. I want you to think in your mind, how many shapes are you going to draw in each column? And I want you to try to get 10, okay? There are many different ways. I might have drawn 3 circles and 4 triangles and then 3 diamonds, or I could have drawn 2 circles, 5 triangles, and 3 diamonds. I'll give you some time to write your number sentence. Teachers and parents, this might be a good time for you to walk around and check if the students were able to get 10 as a correct sum, or if they found the correct sum to their addition sentence. Once they have all their shapes drawn, see if they can write the addition sentence at the top and with the sum of 10. Here is a different one I did with crescent, diamond, and rectangle. Let's see if we can read the number sentence for this one. I have 2 crescents. I have 4 diamond. Sometimes they're called rhombus. So 2 plus 4, does anyone know? It's 6. How many more do we need to count on until we get to 10? Let's count on. 7, 8, 9, 10. I did 4 rectangles. So for this one, I have 2 plus 4 plus 4 equals 10. Great. Did you finish your number sentence? When you are ready, get your next piece of paper for your abstract project and your crayons. Get your shape addition sentence so you can look at it so you can see how many of each shape that you need to draw. I'm going to be drawing in the front, and you can watch me. You can glance up while you're drawing yours. I'm going to do several of them so you can get some ideas while you're drawing. But I want you to draw the shapes that you chose and the correct number. Don't color them in. We're going to do that later in a science experiment. I want you to use lots of different colors, so have your crayons nearby. All of our work will look different from one another. I'm going to be drawing a couple of different examples while you're drawing yours. So I need to draw 4 circles. So watch Miss Roz. I might draw one small blue one here. Maybe I'll be fun and draw one around it. How about a large one right here? And maybe a tiny one over here. So that total is 4. I made 4 circles. Now I need to make 4 triangles. Remember, our triangles have 3 sides. There's one. Remember this kind? 2. I can even overlap. Watch me what overlap means. It means one can go on top of another one. There's 3. And here's 4. Maybe I'll do a long skinny one like this one with straight lines. So I did my 4 triangles. I just have 2 crescents to make next. Crescents look like moons. You may remember in our last Van Gogh, we drew a starry night on our winter landscape. There's one crescent facing that way. And then I might have another crescent over here facing a different way. When you finish drawing all your shapes, I want you to count them to make sure you have 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you need to pause now to get all of your 10 shapes drawn, now is a good time. When you finish, remember to count them and see if you made the sum of 10. And join me back so we can color and we can add lines to our art. Now, we're going to do an experiment. So have all of your crayons in front of you. I'm going to play a sound about 3 times, and I want you to listen to it. And then I want you to reach for the very first color it makes you feel. Like if I play a bell sound, you might think it alarms you when you think of a bright color like red. And you can choose any of the shapes that you've drawn that you want, one shape. And if you'd like to draw a line in that color, I want you to do that as well. Remember our lines? Straight, curved, wavy, zigzag, dotted, and dashed. Say the lines' names with me again to remember. They're straight, curved, wavy, zigzag, dotted, and dashed. So if you have time after you've colored your shape, I want you to draw a line that you like anywhere. Remember, it's abstract art, so you can put it anywhere you want. There will be 10 sounds, one for every shape that you have. Only color one shape for each sound. But you can choose a color more than once if you'd like. There are no right or wrong answers, only what you think. I'll play each sound 2 or 3 times, so choose and color quickly before I go on to the next sound. Some of these sounds might be musical instruments. See if you can tell what instrument it is. Some might be an animal sound. Are you ready to get started? Wow, that was interesting. I had never heard about hearing colors before I learned about Kandinsky. Have you ever heard a sound a color could make? That's pretty cool. Once you have finished coloring all of your shapes, look around at each other's artwork and see how each one looks different. I bet you could think of a good title for your artwork. I hope you enjoyed making abstract art today and learning some art history. Hang your art up in the hallway so others can see. And join me back here next week for another visual or creative movement lesson.